And Are You Okay is a not safe for work podcast, so any young listeners are discouraged from continuing. However, we literally have no way to track that, so do whatever the hell you want and enjoy the show.
We got through it.
We got through it. All right, so we are recording.
We've been recording for 10 minutes.
We've been here. Let's start a fake conversation.
Love you, gamer.
Happy Mother's Day to Yali.
Yeah.
Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Team 2 Box reunited.
Oh my gosh, I love it. 2 Box. Our day's covering Andor World Tour.
The Andor World Tour.
Andor World Tour. Yeah. I covered that show in literally a different state every week, I think.
Hotel rooms across the galaxy.
Hotel rooms across the galaxy. That's how we do it here.
Bring that back.
Name of this episode: Hotel Rooms Across the Galaxy.
I know they don't plan on bringing it back, but I wish they would.
Wait, it's not coming back? I thought it was definitely coming back.
Season 2, definitely.
Yeah, I was about to say I thought I already got green lit for season 2.
It's finished filming. They're good.
Did they really?
Oh, they wrapped up filming? I was about to say, you definitely was sending me like behind the scenes shit. I do remember.
So it's like, I need more space Latinos. It's not enough.
Oh, you're gonna get all the space Latinos. That's what we're talking. Hey. That's why we're here. Come right in. Sit right down. Yali's gonna get her space Latinos. They are like really important for the galaxy to be free.
Oh, no,
Revolutions are built on hope.
No, this one is more for the. First of all, shout out for them hitting this trailer during like Asian American specific Islander month, Heritage Month, because this is all the Asians out there.
No, Disney's gonna Disney.
And this is excellent.
We're not racist.
Excellent at its finest. We're not racist.
We love minorities over here.
It was good timing. But before we talk about Star Wars The Acolyte, I'm going to introduce myself, Mikey, the human holocron himself. I will soon be stripped of this title because I have not read a single High Republic book, and this show is going to be taking place in the High Republic era. So everyone can yell at me. The unwise. We can just clown on me every intro of every episode. And I'm here with my co-host, the Rogue One, the Rogue Only, Matthew Porter, a.k.a. Roby One Kenobi, the Mace Windu dude, Smack Talker Skywalker. Are you checked in, my friend?
Just checked out from my 9 to 5. About to hit that hyperdrive. Punch it, Chewie. I'm checked in.
Oh, and before we officially punch it, we have to. You've already heard her voice. You're going to be seeing her all over the place. The esteemed executive producer from the Dragonball for Life podcast,
Latinx Barbie, Yali's mommies, Yali's poppies,
Barbie. Is she a part of the dark side? Is she a Night Sister? I don't know. But she sure is praising the Latinos in the galaxy.
Don't say it. Let's go.
Miss Yali Perez, thank you for joining us again.
Team 2 Box reunited.
Yo, they definitely embarrassed me with something I can't even talk to y'all about.
Check me.
They'll have to come. All will be revealed in time. They'll have to come back and listen to this and be like, "Oh, that's where that came from. That's where it came from."
do or do not. There is no try.
No try. No try. And we did already say it. Well, she's going to keep trying, and she's going to be covering this trailer with us. Before we hop into all of that stuff, just want to go over a couple things. We already mentioned it, but Happy Mother's Day. We're recording this on Mother's Day. If you're a mom who's a mom, a dad who's a mom, or people who are just exerting motherly energy, we appreciate you. And then on top of that, some upcoming coverage. Rey the Ruiner has been under the weather, and Tales of the Empire is out. We're very happy to have been watching it, and she very much wants to cover it. So we have pushed off that coverage. So bear with us while we go through some sickness here. I'm also kind of under the weather, but I'm powering through, and I'm going to be leaning on my co-host today to drive this conversation forward. But we will be covering that soon. And then, as always, I don't know what we could possibly be spoiling here, but I'm going to drop a spoiler warning in before we get started. And Yali, Matt, if you will, I'm just going to read the description, which we have already covered on a previous episode of Annie, Are You Okay? For Star Wars Acolyte. But anyone who might be tuning in for the first time or not know much about this show that's upcoming, I'm just going to read this description, and then we'll kind of go through a few of my questions that I have for you guys, and I'm sure that will unleash your minds and allow you to tell me how you're feeling about this thing. So Star Wars... The Star Wars Acolyte official trailer breakdown is a former Padawan reunites with her Jedi Master to investigate a series of crimes, but discovers the forces they confront are more sinister than they ever anticipated. A lot of cool visuals coming from this trailer, but I guess my first question for you guys, because this is a pretty big line that came out of this whole thing about the Jedi being corrupt, is how much of this plot do you think is going to be dedicated to building up the narrative that the Jedi have slowly strayed away from their order's like initial intentions, allowing darkness to rise like we see in the prequel trilogy? And we'll throw that off to Yali first to get started.
I'm pretty sure this is probably going to eat majority of the series. Especially with like the very last scene of the trailer. It's gonna eat the whole series for the most part. Especially somebody who's read the books, because I did not have friends. So books were my friends. Yeah, I think it's, this to me feels like the most like a detective series in a way, which there's a lot of that in the book. So it's going to be a lot of like mystery and clues, and make sure you pay attention to like that one thing in the corner that's going to tell you about like how the corruption is and whatnot. So I think it's a lot of trying to figure out who's corrupt, where the corruption is, and trying to figure out like essentially like who's the mole type of situation. And so I'm excited to like really dive into it, because just from someone who's read the stuff, you can tell like it's not following anything really specifically. I think it's taking different parts of things and like making an amalgamation of all of that and putting it into one thing. So I'm deciding how they're going to like adapt all of it and make it this one cool new series.
I love a good mole plot line. Matt, tell me what you're thinking.
I got you. So a lot of my answer, I'm gonna have to intentionally hold off because I read your questions, and what I want to say is gonna like better suit another question. But I will say, I think that yes, but I feel like they're gonna dial it back on purpose. I feel like we're gonna get like little instances of like Jedi hubris, so we can be like, that's how the fuck they lost their power. Like there's gonna get like little sprinkled arrogance here and there, or some like Jedi, like, oh, it's no problem, like, oh, we're fine, like this, then the third. So I feel like we're gonna get a lot of that. So like those who know about the fall would be like, shaking my head at them Jedi. This is what happens. This is what happens. But I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see the Jedi at fullest strength, because we've never seen that on TV in real time. So I'm hyped for it.
That's true. I feel like the closest thing we have.
Where it's
What's
the
that?
Fire. It's gonna be the dogging. Where's the dog in the fire? He's like, oh, this is
yes,
fine.
that's
fine.
exactly what
I feel like the closest we've got to seeing this many lightsabers on screen is Attack of the Clones, when they're in like the Geonosian arena. This many lightsabers on screen, and he gives me
this
a kink. That's why. The flesh lightsaber coming to a sex store near you,
bro. The flesh lightsaber is going to get us out the hood, metaphorically speaking.
Those already exist.
No, they don't. Don't you say that?
This original idea made by Annie, Are You Okay? A Star Wars podcast.
A Star Wars podcast.
I guess my last so I think that the citizens of the galaxy are definitely already fed up with the Jedi, and we're going to see that sentiment kind of like throughout the show probably, and the Jedi are going to be the last to realize that they've been failing the citizens, as is what happens in the prequel trilogy. But I think that there's a lot of stories that have been kind of like lending to this, like Dooku's Tales of the Jedi episodes also feel like that's a little bit later in the timeline, but definitely plays into kind of like the downfall of the Jedi. And I'm not surprised to see that we have, I think he's kind of like a smuggler type character, saying it off the jump. And it's so hard because we don't really have names for these guys. So I'm sure we will grow to love them and have in-depth conversations about them as the show airs. But it was definitely cool to kind of like see that being already played up in the trailer. And I hope that it's not like a red herring to push us off of what the actual plot of the story is. So moving on to my next question here, it looks like we're going to be having several flashbacks in the series, which is something I think is fairly new to Star Wars. We definitely saw most of it happen in Andor, but as like a storytelling device and like a change of pace from what we have previously seen, how do you guys feel about implementing something like that into Star Wars storytelling? Also, not just for the Acolyte, but as a whole. Like, do you think it's servicing Star Wars well? Do you think we're getting more complex stories because of it?
All right, so this is where I left out part of my answer from that last question to get in. So the first episode is obviously, these are just clear predictions based off of a trailer. So it's like, I could be totally wrong. But to go back to when we had covered the teaser trailer for this, Mikey, you had mentioned that you think that Carrie-Anne Moss's character is going to be the Jedi that gets murdered. That kind of like starts off the investigation. I think that this trailer kind of lends to that as well, because like the opening part where we see the Force ninja get her dagger up, it looks like that same abandoned shack that Carrie-Anne Moss's character lights up her lightsaber. So, but to answer your question, I'm going out there with a crazy theory again, just giving the vibes, because I'm always super skeptical about trailers that show you too much, because I'm gonna be like, you want me to pay attention to a lot of this, because it's like, the lead the pro antagonist, I guess we can call her, of the show. Like, if this is a show about a murder mystery, why would you show us who the killer is in the trailer? So like, I'm super skeptical as to if she really is the person that's going around off in the Jedi. She might be a part of that organization or whatever. So the first episode will tell me a lot, but I think that this show might be told in a way kind of the same way that Saw 3 was told. It was two stories happening at the same time, but it was like different timeline. It was the Bull Jeff's story was happening like behind the wife's story, and then they like met in the middle. I feel like the Carrie-Anne Moss murder might show up a bunch of times in the show, like how she died or what happened that fateful night. We might get continuous flashbacks throughout the investigation, because if they're like investigating her murder, that would make sense for them to like keep going back to when she was alive. I think she might be the Dark Jedi that we see at the end. I think that's the red herring. The fact that they've showed that the shorty's the murder, because that defeats the whole case. If the Force ninja's the murder, how's this a murder mystery show? And y'all told, like, you gave us she was my former Padawan. She strayed from the pad. Now she out here killing Jedis. You told us the show. So I'm calling cap that is like what the actual plot is. I think Carrie-Anne Moss might be the mole or the traitor, and her getting murdered is like a smokescreen for her to like go over. I think she's the evil Jedi with the red lightsaber that we see in the forest at the end. But
what murder? He didn't kill nobody.
Murder? What murder? Yeah,
he's a good man.
But if that's how this plays out, again, the first episode will either like confirm or totally kibosh that theory. Because if they just kind of do away with the murder happens in the first episode and they leave it alone, that might change it. But I do like what you were asking, Mikey, that Star Wars bringing flashbacks into it, because we've said a lot of time, like, Star Wars has relied on if it's not broke, don't fix it kind of strategy with storytelling. So I like things with Andor, or like what we were getting in like Bad Batch season 1 and 2 that we talked about, that they're like subverting the normal Star Wars tropes. So like giving us flashbacks, I'm all here for it. But yeah, that's my prediction. I think that we're gonna get like a flashback and current timeline story thing happening simultaneously, and Carrie-Anne Moss is the mole.
I love it. Yali, feel free to feed off of that or give us your thoughts in general just on flashback use in Star Wars storytelling, or just kind of like where you feel that mole storyline might be going.
First of all, I think what we learned in Obi-Wan is that we fuck with flashbacks. But I think in Obi-Wan, flashbacks serve for a little bit of fan service. It's like, oh my god, Hayden Christensen,
the Clone Wars outfit.
And you know what I mean? Like, we're just all happy to see her. And, Ahsoka, but that was more of like a different thing for Ahsoka. But like, just, like, I think Obi-Wan was a test to be like, do they fuck with flashbacks or do they not fuck with flashbacks?
Spoiler alert, I do fuck with flashbacks. I very much fuck with flashbacks.
Do you fuck with flashbacks?
Yeah, like, they was like, oh wait, no, they fuck with flashback. Okay, put it in this thing because they love those. Like, they were hyped for that. And I think in this situation, first of all, in this particular show, flashbacks mean we get different hair for Lee Jung-jae, which I'm totally fucking with. We get
okay.
We getting wig changes. They say production. So I love that. I also agree with. I don't think, Matt, you're on a ledge here. If there's one thing we love in Star Wars is that we love a return. Return of a Jedi, Return of a Sith. We love a return. So if Carrie Ann Moss
somehow Palpatine has returned.
Well, now hold on. Project Necromancer, it's going places.
Right.
Okay, everybody right now, we did not love that. But, so I don't think it's far fetched to think that like the Dark Jedi, the Sith person at the end could be Carrie Ann Moss. I don't think, and also it'd be a total waste of her if she like it only returns and
just gets knocked off in the first episode, never seen from again.
Okay, what was the point? Like, it's Trinity, we love so I don't think that's not a knockoff, but I wouldn't say that she would be like the mole because that's the like that doesn't fit a mole strategy. Now unless she
because it's someone who's like with them the whole time, right?
And then now if she planned the whole thing out, like she planned her murder, like that'd be a totally different thing. Like, ooh, like maybe she was like, I'm fucking tired of this whole Jedi shit, y'all not actually doing what y'all supposed to do. But you also have to remember, like, the Sith's end goal isn't to serve the people either. Like, their end goal is to serve themselves. So, like, if she did all of this, then what if her goal was to, like, serve the people, and then she did all of this to, like, fuck the Jedi, and then became a Sith? Like, that doesn't also fit either.
Well, so I think we get in a 52 fake out. I don't think Amandla Steinberg's character is the villain in this. I don't think
a double agent, triple, you know how I mean? Like, she's in the trenches trying to figure out what's going on.
I'm kind of figuring that too, and I think maybe that's the switch. Like, maybe it's presented to us that she's the bad guy, Carrie Ann was like the good guy, and that maybe the murder does happen.
What murder?
But then maybe like as the show goes on, like it gets switched to like Amanda Stein, her character like was like a vigilante trying to figure this out, and she figured out that Carrie Ann Moss's character,
she's a double agent, like she's deep undercover. And that's why Lee Jung-jae has to be the person who does it, because like he needs to like get her out. It was her like, potentially like
what a twist! Oh my gosh! If you guys call that, I'm gonna be like, I'll be like,
right.
The whole.
Leonardo,
this could be another case of our fan predictions are better than what we actually get, and how we're left disappointed.
Maybe we should all just start writing things.
Right, just start mailing it to Disney. Like, hey, you know what we should do? We should just like write out plot points anonymously, mail them to Disney. Be like, yo, like if you use these, like
we don't need a cut.
Like you're right.
Passes to Rise of the Resistance.
Like. So then we see, like, if it starts showing up, we got the timestamps. Like, yo, we mailed this letter on this date, and look what showed up in some Star Wars shit. Like, coincidence? I think not.
Oh yeah, but no, I like flashbacks. I think flashbacks give us an opportunity to see what happened before, without having to do like the exposition heavy shit. Like someone saying, like, this is what happened 15 years ago, and so and so and so. It's like, don't talk to me. Like, I would just rather see it.
Talk to me.
I would just rather see it.
Yeah, no. I think, it's funny you say this, because I hear this a lot from Ray the Ruiner. She hates when things need to be explained to her in the plot. It's like, no, like, you can do that, but visually tell the audience what's happening, and it's much more rewarding for everyone as a whole. So I definitely agree. It'd be great to see what's happening as opposed to all this stuff. And to your point earlier, Yali, just like the extra production that has to go into flashbacks. You're dealing with different era, different costumes, all this stuff. Also, more merchandising opportunities, which if Star Wars is anything, It is one huge merchandising opportunity. So yes, give us more cool character designs, different outfits. I don't care.
We're gonna get Lee Jong Jae current timeline toy, Lee Jong Jae past timeline toy.
You get a Funko Pop, and you get a Funko Pop, and you get a Lego minifigure, and you get 2 Lego minifigures. All right,
they're gonna double up on toys and just like get rid of some of the creases. Like, oh, this is him when he's younger.
That mold. They put some collagen in that mold. Okay.
Yeah. You see the gray streak. That's how you know it's current timeline.
And I think I'm really happy because, like, Reva's hairdresser is on the set. Like, did you not see the hair? Reva's hairdresser is
stay late every episode.
I don't know.
Once she left the Empire, that's when her hair went to shit because she lost out on
the Empire is for hairdressers.
The salon, I don't know what the Orabesh letter is for Z, but snap in an Orabesh Z formation.
Big fan. That's hilarious. Like when you get kicked out of the Empire, the first thing you lose is access to their stylist,
their hair care.
They showed up. They was like, mm-mm.
Yeah, she showed up for her 1:00, and it was like, it's like,
They punch a hole in their membership card, and they're like, no longer usable here.
No, they cut it up in front of her. They was like, snip.
All right, well, coming off the coattails of our Carrie-Anne Moss discussion, so I actually had the pleasure of seeing The Phantom Menace in theaters again, and they, at the end of it, had a sneak peek for what was going on, and it was a very extended fight scene between Amanda Steinberg and Carrie-Anne Moss's characters. But even in the trailer, like, the fight choreography looks to have taken new leaps for Star Wars television. Maybe not so much for Star Wars as a whole, but Star Wars television for sure. This is some of the most in-depth fighting and martial arts that we've seen. How much does this excite you as longtime Star Wars fans? Do you feel that maybe they're taking a page out of the Andor book in terms of the quality of production and treating it more like? I think that there's a stigma on Disney Plus shows that it's like movies that they've turned into TV shows and they maybe extend them a little too long. And that was a problem that Marvel seemed to have, right? But Andor, to me, felt like a series that happened to be shot like a movie. Do we think the Acolyte is going to get similar treatment to this?
Yeah. So I don't know if it was intentional because this would create crazy foresight if it was. But I like how the further back in time we go, how improved the combat gets, because it's the Jedi way died out over time. So, of course, when Luke is battling Vader, it's looks like a stage play. And obviously, at the time when the movie came out, the fight choreography wasn't what it was supposed to be. So, yeah. I like that they make a cognizant choice that, as we go back further, when we're when the teachings were more prevalent and in your face and larger numbers, we get to see these crazy fight scenes, like the fight scene from Return of the Jedi versus Revenge of the Sith, night and day in terms of just action and choreography and art and everything. So I do, again, if it was a cognizant choice that when they started going back in time, they're they would be a lot more elegant and agile with these fights because everybody would have been practicing and keeping up with their sword play. But these fight scenes, from what I've seen in the teaser trailers, I'm super excited, and because I also really do and this isn't something that we get a lot of in the movies, but we have gotten it a lot of in the shows. I like when we get to see that people who are sensitive to the Force or Jedi, Sith, whatever. I like to see that they actually are good at hand-to-hand combat too, because they're warriors. They're not I can only use a lightsaber, which is how the movies kind of make it seem sometimes. We did see in Revenge of the Sith when Anakin was piecing up Obi-Wan, which I love. That's some of my favorite parts. We just started punching him. He's like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm just gonna punch you in the face, bro.
Yeah. Or a more recent example, Ezra using just hand-to-hand combat and letting Sabine use a saber, in that instance, kind of shows that it's also nice to see that the first thing some Jedi are doing is not reaching for their lightsaber, because that is not, that should be their last resort as those defenders of peace and justice. You're pulling it out when the situation calls for it, but until it does, we're going to settle this without harming someone to a point where they can't have a limb.
All right, Mikey, with the social commentary on today's law enforcement.
Oh shit!
Look at the range. Look at the range.
AJAB, all Jedi are bastards. Is that what we're doing here?
Not AJAB. Get an AJAB. I see what you did.
Yeah, I see it double entendre. Don't ask him how. But yeah,
no, they're so we're saying the High Republic Jedi are how the cops should handle themselves. Just to be
exactly.
Okay, yeah.
Like, put your gats down.
Stop blaming everything on Gamorrean crime. Like, it's not how it works out here.
Like, what y'all thought this was Namek? This is not how we handle things over here. This is not how we handle things on Coruscant.
Also, hold on. We need to roll this back because I said Gamorrean crime. And
I laughed, bro. I loved it.
I know. Yeah, but that would be saying that I was calling black people pig people, and the cops are the pig people. So fuck them. They're the Gamorreans. We're gonna pick a better alien race for our cultured friends. Yeah. So
clarification.
Yeah.
Mike, we gotta give just so y'all know. Fuck 12. Like, just in case there was any doubt.
Oh, God.
But I digress.
I think it does make sense because if you remember Rogue One, Danny Yen's character, like, he didn't have lightsaber, and so he was much more skilled at using the Force and being combat heavy. So it's not like a totally new idea. At least not in the Star Wars. Well, that was a movie. So it's not like a new idea that, like, Jedi or Force sensitive people should be good at combat without being lightsaber heavy. But I do like, as the shows and the movies go on, well, I would agree, less so the movies. Like I said, the movies make it seem like, oh, your saber is the only thing you know how to use. That's just like,
right.
It's like, no, you should use other things. Even though, like, Phantom Menace had, like, still in my book, the greatest, like, lightsaber battle of all time. Like, it is what it is. Because Duel of the Fates is amazing. But
I mean, Battle of Heroes is that shit, but it's fine.
This is going to be a forever debate because they both are amazing, but it's like it gets to a point where it's like when you have to take all the objective amazing things out of both of them, it becomes so subjective that you just end up getting into like hardcore fights about it.
No,
it's the Jordan versus LeBron debate. It's never going to be.
It's never going to end. Never going to end.
LeBron didn't make the worst. I mean, LeBron made the worst Space Jam, but it is what it is.
That wasn't his fault. That was money. Money did that.
But yeah, I like in this, you can tell, like, in the Acolyte, you can tell that there's a lot of more like practical fighting. Like, you can tell there was a lot of time spent with like fight choreography and like people on the ground actually teaching them how to fight. I know Lee Jung-jae, like, in his career, he's done a lot of fight choreography. There's a specific school in Korea that you can attend to learn fight choreography for free. And they take people from all around the world. They can come, stay there, eat, sleep, all of it's for free to learn fight choreography and other types of stunt choreography. And I know that Lee Jung-jae did attend that. To like do, and that guy has come and taught the choreography for like all the movies and shows that he's done before. So I know like he's very comfortable doing that. So I'm excited to see him like really take what he's learned and apply it in like a Jedi format. So then to see everyone else got to like, you could tell like it's not just like some CGI or like ropes or all kinds. Like, someone took their time to teach them combat, and it's gonna be like, you can feel like there's an intensity when they're like swinging the lightsaber, almost to the point it almost feels like, you know, like LARPers in the park or something. Like the type of intensity. It's just like,
well, it's so
business idea.
Star Wars LARP in the park.
Star Wars in the park is that
dark. LARP after dark? What?
Bring your sabers, bring your blasters. What murder?
Bang bang. Bang bang.
Bang bang. Pew pew. Pew pew.
Bro, LARPing after dark, dog.
There's a mystery element to it as well.
Dog, that's what I'm saying, bro. LARPing after dark.
Dude, now I kind of want to do a murder mystery Star Wars party.
You can do like if you do LARPing After Dark, you can play like a mean game with like flashlight tag, bro. Like that's the murder. Yo.
Leave this out.
Oh yeah, perfect. Yo, that would be it, bro. All right, so the murderer would have like a flashlight, but you wouldn't know who had the flashlight, and you just gotta go around killing people. Like, LARPing After Dark, bro. LARPing After Dark.
Amongst all of us.
Bet.
Yeah.
Well, now that we're done discussing our newest business venture.
Actually, no, this sounds so fucking fun. Like,
dog, I'm saying, bro. Because if we're like in a park and it's dark or whatever, like you gonna see someone turn a flashlight on and murder someone. It's, oh shit, who was that? Who murdered someone? Someone got. Then you hear the Hunger Game cannons go off. Like, if we get a little budget.
$100 lightsaber, so I'm ready.
That shit would be lit.
I'm ready. No, but I'm excited to, like, the choreography looks intense. It feels like someone took their time to train them, like if they're actually Jedi. Like, it's gonna be, and like I said, the production already looks like they spend a good chunk of change on this particular situation. So
I also feel like they haven't shown any of Lee Jung Jae's fights, really, which means that whatever he's doing must be really intense, that they don't want to give it away in the trailer.
Oh no!
So man, what if he's the mole?
Don't do that to me. But he's such a good actor. He plays like comedy well. He's been a villain in some things, and when he's the bad guy, like you feel it. Like it's like ooh. But he's done like romantic stuff, and he's like, oh my god, he's so swoony. Like he has such a good range. It's like I can't wait to see what he brings to this. As someone who's a fan of his, like in his working career, it's just like I want to know what he's gonna bring, just because I know what he brings over on the other side. So this production alone has me excited for what they can do with all the choreography and everything. Just
Yali's been watching his career with great interest.
Oh, absolutely. The man's married.
See what I did there? So, moving on to my next question. It looks like we are dealing with some new faction of the dark side, different from the Sith and the Night Sisters. Is it just a means to an end, guys? Are the Sith pulling the strings there? Like, I guess what I really want to point to in the trailer is that one Jedi, his like eyes become completely black when they're dealing with him. So there is some sort of like dark side magic element going on there. Definitely new Star Wars, something that we have not seen before. Do you guys think that it's going to be the major antagonist of what's going on here, or just kind of like a subplot to how our characters might be dealing with the dark side in the galaxy?
By Yali's face, she has thoughts.
Because I mean, this is before Darth Vader and stuff. Like this is before all that. But how does the dark side keep having like all of these secret factions that they don't really know about?
Every couple of years, keep popping up.
So that is a good question, but I do think that really what it is that the Jedi, for being what they are as like the quote unquote like light side entity in the galaxy, like there is no darkness without light. You know what I mean? Like the light always casts a shadow. So the way that the dark side is manifesting is just not always the Sith, I think.
But I feel like the light side does a very good job of keeping track of like who's in there.
I'm rolling, bro. I'm rolling.
The light side's like, oh, they got these guys over here to the south, like the water. We got the Southern Water Tribe, we got the North. You know what I'm saying? The dark side do not keep track of who popping up. Like they don't make us sign a form or whatever. Like, okay, so y'all do your thing over here. And then we had the meetings on Tuesdays. You know what I mean? Like they don't just keep track of who popping up. Like I don't
like you got this new group, whatever this is.
Yeah,
you got the Sith, then you had the Empire, then you had the First Order. The light sides be fucking up, bro.
Even the Knights of Ren kind of went under the radar. Like y'all don't just keep track of y'all like that shows how unorganized the Sith has been the entire time.
I think it's the other side. I feel like the fact that the Republic or the New Republic or the Jedi, the fact that they keep getting like caught off guard, like with these dark entities,
they don't take the threat seriously. They don't take the threat seriously.
I think they're all unorganized.
Like the fact that the First Order popped up only like 29, 30 years after they beat the Empire. I was like, bro, y'all barely had the shit under wraps.
No, they got comfortable. They was like, nothing's ever going to come back up. We did the damn thing.
Clearly they're getting comfortable again in Acolyte. Like I would imagine this gets snuffed out, but we know that the Sith gonna pop back up again.
If you don't learn from History Channel, you're doomed to repeat History Channel.
Absolutely.
I believe that's the phrase. And that's what this is the early part of history for the Star Wars universe. So
my nerve. I'm just like, how many times is the dark side going to be surprised that another faction just pops up and be like, who are y'all? It's like, again, if you make them fill out forms and just like, okay, because they all have different like cute little symbols. They're almost the same. Like, it makes it very tattooable. It's just, you know what I mean? Like, again,
very tattooable.
No, you know what it is? They figured it out. They were just like, oh shit, like if we change the symbol, the Jedi will think it's some new shit.
Right.
they won't pay attention. They're like, oh no, it's
not even the same thing.
This a new one. This is an upstart company. We don't gotta worry about that. No, it's been the same company the whole time.
Right. It's a shell company.
Either way.
You have a shell company. You have a shell company.
Either way, it gave Jodie Turner-Smith an opportunity to deliver the coldest line in the trailer, where it was like, destiny is but a thread. All you have to do is pull it. So peak, right?
That line tattooed, bam, already ready to go. Rodney, if you listen to this, line it up.
I am excited to see how they play into it. But yeah, I could see how it's like conflicting with the Sith and not actually like aligned with the Sith. I don't think that they should be an interesting point.
I feel like they're a subgroup, you know what I mean, of what it's ever going on. But again, for me, it's just like, we just need to keep track of our people. They're
going to be Witches of Dathomir adjacent.
Yes, absolutely, exactly that. And the Witches of Dathomir also didn't fill out the form. You know what I'm saying? Like, they also did not. The only people who knew was Thrawn. Thrawn was the only person.
They're playing outside the rules.
Yeah, like, just fill out the form. That's all I'm asking for y'all to, like. The Jedi itself is all fucked up. The Republic is all fucked up. Like, they didn't keep track, but I feel like the Sith were the worst of keeping track. They were just like,
because they anti-establishment. They said, "Come as you are." There's cookies and juice over there. Like, just kind of, the door's always open. Just do your thing, bro. They said, "Come in, cause chaos, stay if you want."
And that's why,
or leave. We don't care about that either.
In and out in a coat. That's why little lady could get in and out in a fucking coat, because they just don't pay attention.
Word. They said if we were to keep you here against your will, we'd be no better than the Jedi. That's what they do out here, kidnapping kids, forcing them into a life of servitude. They was like, no, you could come, you could leave, you could stay. It's not a contract. It's a pay as you go. It's rollover minutes. You
tell me what the real darkness is.
They cricket. It's just like, $15 a month. If you don't pay, we turn it off. If you pay, we turn it back on. That's all. No harm, no foul.
Until they get bought by T-Mobile. That's how every single one of those goes.
That's the Jedi takeover, bro. Like, the big business is shitting on the
Boost, Mint, Metro PCS. You live long enough to see yourself become T-Mobile. That's how it works over there.
You either die Boost Mobile, or you live long enough to see yourself become T-Mobile. That's how
it works. All right, moving on to our next question here. So many aliens. How good does it feel, guys, to have some of them in the forefront? I know we had Ahsoka and Hera, like in Ahsoka being very much prominent in terms of like protagonist roles, but it feels like they're doing extra to make sure that the Jedi we're seeing a whole bunch of different Jedi aliens. It's exciting. Jonas Suatomo, who played Chewbacca in the sequel trilogy, is coming back to play a new Wookiee Jedi. That's exciting. How do you guys feel about that? Are we pumped, or do we feel like it's an opportunity to bring back some aliens we haven't seen in a while, since the sequel trilogy just decided to make a ton of new guys? How are you guys feeling about this?
Yeah, I've beat this drum with you guys so many times. I feel like Star Wars is at its best when they use practical effects and they don't just CGI me to death like they did in the sequel trilogies. So it's just like, just seeing their return to form with like actual like makeup and prosthetics and everything. Like that's what I'm most excited about, because it's like, it helps, especially because I feel like, and I mean, it could be a Disney thing, who knows, but I feel like just kind of the current climate of movies now, like, they be CGI shit that don't need to be CGI. Like that could have easily been a practical effect. Like, like that could have easily been this, that could have easily been that. So seeing that we're like getting, and Mikey, we talked about this, the thing that the Bad Batch did well is like, it actually made it feel like a galaxy far, far away, instead of just like Tatooine, Coruscant, Jakku. this alien, that alien. Like I feel like we got so many different types of species and whatnot, what have you. Like it feels good. I'm happy about it. But again, I feel like if it was on purpose or by accident, it makes sense that the further back we go, like the wider variety of species we would see. Because I would imagine the Empire was out here knocking people off during their heyday, just like eliminating threats and whatnot. So it makes sense that the further back we go, we would see more cooperation. And like you just said, Mike, like people are getting fed up with the Jedi. So maybe what we're also seeing later in life is that like when people started losing faith in the Jedi, they stopped being willing to give up their kids. So maybe that's why we don't see like a wide variety of different types of Jedis in the future.
I've never thought about it that way. But that's a really good point.
Taking my baby.
Yeah, they was like, yeah, we know how they give it up in the temple. Yeah, you can't have my kid. Sorry. Like,
you can't just be AJABing out here.
Yeah. They was just like, all right, Connor, come on, we'll train you how to be a Jedi.
Colin.
Bryce, come on.
The most
Chad
names
Facts.
in the Star Wars.
What show was that where they like randomly had like a really human ass named character? Was it Obi-Wan? I remember we talked about it.
And I can't remember. It was like Tim with the good calf or something.
Yeah, Tim with two M's.
It was Tim. Yeah, Tim with the good calf.
Who?
And I feel like that mole person in Obi-Wan that was driving that truck had like a really like American name. Like, it was like Joseph or some shit. I don't fucking remember.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's funny because I feel like Luke is a super common name, but no one bats an eye at it. But the second you have someone named Tim in Star Wars,
feels like Star Wars. Like, yeah, I don't know, maybe because he was like the original.
It changes.
Yeah, exactly. It puts that little accent over the E when you say Luke Skywalker. You know,
not just like Tim. Nobody.
It's Tim. It's Tim. They said no. That second M makes it spacey.
Right.
It's like...
I'm Space Tim. It's different.
Right.
Yeah, hey,
actually, that's how it is. Instead of like the first character when it's typed out is just you press the space bar and then you write Tim. I got you.
Right, space. Tim.
Like yeah, Space Tim.
That's his street artist tag name. So space and then just Tim.
Yeah, underscore Tim.
Underscore Tim. Like people ask like Tim, what's the underscore mean? He said exactly.
Everyone always asks what that means. They never ask what TIMM means. Okay. All right, guys. Well,
you said though, like, and as the further out we go, like the universe expands, but also like, and as the further out we go in High Republic and Old Republic and stuff like that, like they don't recognize like the Skywalkers aren't important then, so we don't need to focus on Tatooine or Jakku or any of the dumbass planets that we have to keep dealing with as we further go. Like I was like, wait, is there no sand in these trailers? Like, am I not seeing a sand planet?
Annie's gonna watch.
You know what I mean? Like,
we're gonna be okay.
Now we were peeping like, wait, I don't think I've seen an ounce of sand in any of these two trailers. Like,
word. I'm here for it.
Excited.
It's a weird time for, I mean, I think we've all grown up with Star Wars, been big fans of it. And I said at the beginning of the episode, like, I'm not going to be the human holocron this time around. Like, this is very new territory for me. And so it's definitely weird, but it's super exciting to just be like, well, what the fuck is going on? Because I'm excited to be sitting there with a bunch of other people being like, man, what is going to happen next? Because I think this is the least predictable Star Wars is ever going to be in my lifetime. And I hope you guys kind of like feel that same way and are as excited as I am about the opportunity here. We do know that, movies are going to movie and TV shows are going to TV show. And most importantly, as Matt always says, Disney's going to Disney.
Yes, sir.
Oh, no, I'm sure they'll find a way.
But let's hope that maybe Disney decides to HBO like they did on Andor.
They say, you know what? I think we're going to decide to Spike TV this one.
Oh, shit. That means they're going to be aliens with jugs. Let's go.
I feel like if there's going to be any series where they try to adult this one, it would be The Acolyte because, I mean, like, this is...
Say it. Because of the murder.
The murder. The murder.
Yeah, even that poster trailer where like the red was like blood, wasn't that for this one? It was like the red for the table was like blood splatters. Yeah, they could definitely.
I feel like this could be the one where they. I mean, also like just in the book territory, like it was there was nothing about this that would even remotely like entertain children, if that makes sense. Like, I remember having to get the books in the adult section of the library. Like, it wasn't anywhere near, like, not even the teen section. Like, it was the adult section. Like, I had to grab a parent and be like, hey, yo, this one. You know what I mean? Like, go grab it real quick. I need you to grab these.
The Star Wars.
Yeah. I mean, there was, like, we all know there's prostitutes in Star Wars. They just don't say it. But, like, there was heavy prostitution in the books, too. So it's like, if they're going to fully go there, I feel like this would be the series to like really fully go there, if that makes sense. So like I would like for them to like just do a Star Wars like Andor felt like the most Star Wars that was for adults. Like it was nothing about it that Andor left, bounced, got shoddy, was out in Star Wars Brazil. You know what I'm saying? And just like having the best time of his life. Like I would like for this to be like really just adult heavy if it could be.
I just think you don't have to dumb down the plot for kids. Like I think that you can make it as complex as you need it to be, and maybe they won't understand the full nuances of it as they're growing up. Like, did any of us care about the trade routes in episode 1?
Right. The political like, squabble that's throughout the prequel trilogy.
Right. But now that I'm older, I do kind of appreciate that plot line a little bit more, especially when you watch the Clone Wars. So yeah, I agree with you, Yali. I think that like that's something where let's just tell a really good story. The kids are going to come for the lightsabers, and then if they stick around and they come back and watch this when, like, if this is their first Star Wars, they grow up with it and they come back in a few years and are like, oh, this shit slapped and it was so much deeper than I thought it was. You create a whole generation that's even more invested, you know, because that's what we had, I think, as kids. Not to say that the original trilogy was super complex.
I think was in a fucking bikini with all her titties and ass hanging out, and like no one batted it up.
Look, I batted more than eyes.
I mean,
that's like I shot some blanks when I was like 6 years old.
Hey, you could tell by my 2 children, they ain't blank, baby. Michael Phelps out here, bro. You know what I'm saying?
And don't get me started on that Padme. I said, "Ooh, that girl pretty."
Word, like what? Episode 2 when her midriff gets exposed for no reason.
Oh my god, for no reason.
But I was here for it.
That Space Tiger for me,
right? Yeah, I appreciate you, Space Tiger.
Right?
Thank you, Nexu.
Thanks, Ben Simmons.
That's right. That's
so like, why can't the kids get a little murder? You know, why can't they get a
little murder?
Even in Obi-Wan,
or nobody.
Like,
right? What's murder between friends? Yeah. What's murder between friends?
Little Leia was on the tree and she was with Lola. She's like, a pleasure barge. You all know what the fuck happens on a pleasure barge?
Word.
Prostitutes.
Word. Damn. I feel like if it wasn't Disney, there's a whole sub genre of like star whores that you could get into. And I feel like it's money in there to be made.
I have been asked by like 18 people if I'm going to the Star Wars burlesque show. That's
the burlesque show. Right, I did look at it. I'm not gonna hold you. I did take a look at it.
Amazing.
I'm poor, so if I can, I will try. But
I went to one like maybe I think it was like 6 years ago. Oh, it was the best time. Like 3PO, the girl came out of the 3PO thing and like loved
the
it.
Tassels.
Yes, I fucking loved it. It was so good. I highly recommend if you get to see it. It's amazing. It's amazing.
She was fluent in over 9 million languages, and one of them was also head.
She didn't say head. She said cunnilingus. She didn't
cunnilingus.
Say
Oh, I get it because she made
the joke, but she said cunnilingus.
That's way better than what I said. I'm fucking
No,
she did make the joke. It was It's Absolutely.
All right. Well, before we finally close this bad boy out, were there any extra parts of the trailer that you guys were like excited about that we didn't cover yet? I think the only thing that I had to say is I love the design of whoever's holding that red lightsaber.
Best helmet I've ever seen, bro.
Like, yeah, like it takes like all the best parts of like Kylo Ren, but yes, with the teeth. I love that. I don't know. I even if they're not teeth, but they like because they look like teeth, I'm so here for it. Like I think it just looks.
You know what it looks
cool.
like? It looks like all right, hold on, because I always mix up the quirk. All Might is all for one, right? Or in one for all is one for all, or is it the other way? I always get them mixed up. Like literally every time.
All for one is the bad guy. One for all is the good.
So then the helmet looked like all for one, like the smile.
Yeah,
with his,
yeah. I love that. I love that.
His no eyeballs, like, and everything. But yeah, I'm excited. But yeah, Carrie almost looked great in that outfit.
She sure did. If that pans out, man, I'm gonna be like, damn, this guy just knows. He just knows.
Trinity did wear all black.
I'm just saying. Look, so what? Go back and watch that trailer, the one that we're reviewing. Obviously, that's why we're here. But like that last little scene where the masked character, the masked vigilante, like raises the saber. That body shape looked very slender to me.
It did look very feminine.
It's very slender to me. Just saying.
I will say that this cast, again, they keep doing it, but the cast gets more and more gorgeous every time they do another show. Like,
true.
Is the human race getting more beautiful, or is casting just getting better?
No, like Ahsoka's
yes.
cast was
Just yes.
Ahsoka's cast was gorgeous, but this cast, like you got Manny Jacinto, you got Amanda, you
Daphne
got
King.
Daphne King.
Yeah.
Well, how old is she? I don't want to say that since she's not old enough.
I was saying it in a respectful manner. She's a beautiful young lady. Like, she's a lovely young
born
lady.
in 2005, so I think she is old.
So she's 19. She's the 19 or 20.
I'm not gonna say that because we got this whole Drake Kendrick thing. I'm gonna pass on her.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, dude, we saw her when she was like 6 in Logan. Feels weird to say that.
Yeah,
she's 19. She's 19.
I'm gonna pass. Because I'm 33, so I'm gonna pass on it. But yeah, like this cast is just like it's gorgeous. Like it's the most like, Jodie Turner, like she's gorgeous. Like this cast is just like incredibly gorgeous. Again, like the hair. Like, I know they got a black hairstylist on set. Like, the hair is fucking phenomenal. The makeup is phenomenal. The little Jedi Padawan babies are super fucking cute. Like, I can't wait for those little Funko Pops because I'm buying them. Like, I was like, I need little Star Wars babies. And I like I know this was like the previous trailer, but like when they were talking about like looking into the Force and all the things that they saw, like I feel like that's another thing they keep forgetting about the Force is like there's some sort of like pre-cognition thing that they have, like that sort of echo. Like they don't use that enough. And that's such a dope fucking power, but again, I feel like the reason why they don't do it is because like people be like, well, why didn't they use the Force Echo? They would have seen it coming. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's another reason why they don't.
I like that only a few characters have it. I like that.
Yeah.
Spare.
I think in the
ability.
In the prequels, they established that the dark side is clouding their judgment, but I also think that the precognition, and it's not always like this, but I think it's definitely something that can feed into it, is Anakin's precognition turns into fear, right? Which leads him down the dark path, which is maybe why they don't use it as much to like see into the future. True. I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying.
Technically, it was still a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like
it was.
He became Darth Vader, which enabled him to stand close to our guy Sheev, which allowed him to toss him down the elevator shaft.
That's true.
Well, we've established many things here today. Right. All Jedi are bastards. We're not Leonardo DiCaprio, and. Even though we use the meme a lot.
Star Wars.
Also, I'm going to just say this to Disney. If you put Manny Jacinto in there with that man having a 12-pack and I don't see it, what was the point? What was the point?
12-pack watch will be an active segment here on Annie Radio, okay? Star Wars podcast. Yali, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us, lending your perspective to this trailer. I know you've been very excited about this show, so we're happy to have you back. You can catch Yali's
clearly she has to come on for the reviews for this, obviously.
yeah I guess Yali's
like no 12-pack this episode, and then I bounce
12-pack watch. Like, all right guys, episode 3 still no 12-pack, but I'm holding out hope.
I guess exploits is the right word for this. Anyway, Yali is the fuel fuel that is the fire for Dragon Ball for Life. You can catch our sister podcast over at Dragon Ball for Life on Facebook with Dragon Ball the number 4 Life over on Facebook, and DB4L_pod on Instagram and Twitter. She is our executive producer over there, and Matt is one of our esteemed hosts along with our good brother Travis, covering all things anime. We recently started a new series that goes back in time using Bulma's time machine to cover the Dragon Ball Z movies that have no relation to canon whatsoever, but have been very fun for them to talk about, in addition to our ongoing Dragon Call series, which is interviews with your favorite voice actors and content creators. We got some big ones coming up. Very exciting stuff. So you can catch her stuff over there. And also, Yali, I believe you have a lot of going on with the Game Hers. Do you want to just dive into that real quick before we have Matt close this thing out?
Yeah, so you guys follow the Game Hers on the Game Hers on Instagram, the Game Hers on Twitter. It's the Game Hers on pretty much everything. No spaces, no underscores. No space Tims. It's just the Gamers all together. We have our ambassador program coming up. We have Ambassador Tuesdays on Twitch. So all our great ambassadors who are just doing amazing things. These are handpicked by me.
Talk your shit, queen. Talk your shit. Yeah, these mommies, y'all these poppies.
Yeah. I swear to God.
Timestamp 11:24 on May 12th.
I'm not showing up to the watch party. I swear to God, I'm not.
It's gonna be great.
Y'all will be there. I will not.
I need you to understand. You not being there, we're gonna be so much more embarrassing about you if you're not there.
It's funny because the audience won't have any idea what this means for like 6 months, but it's okay.
You know what it is. If you don't show up, we're gonna coordinate with your mom to have just like a slideshow of your baby pictures just up on a projector leading up until the episode. Countdown of the episode, just baby pictures just on a slideshow.
As we go on, we remember.
I will probably give you the video of me on TV when we were like first on live for the Power Rangers movie. And
hell yeah! Like, just gonna play it on loop.
Oh yeah. Game Her stuff, and like I said, just tune into Annie, Are You Okay? Tune into DB4L. Like I said, we got amazing guests that I just been out here hunting. You know what I'm saying? Like AO be on the pod. But don't really have to hunt because they're always excited to be on and stuff. And just keep supporting y'all. We doing stuff. We out here, and just don't listen to Matt or Mikey when they talk about Yali's mommies and Yali's poppies.
Yali's mommies, Yali's poppies.
No.
Wait,
Matt.
Wait.
No.
So after you become, the Philadelphia Snooki, we can bleep this out. I'm not gonna talk about the thing that'll lead you to that. But once we get Yali's mommies and Yali's poppies off the ground, fucking snacks, Yali's popsicles. Stop playing with your boy.
Matt is a marketing engine. Bro. He's a marketing engine. Are we sure he's not AI? Are we positive this man is not artificial intelligence? He's just constantly rolling.
Something on the screen that says "Prove you're a human."
I gotta put in the caption.
Caption.
Yeah. He's got to pick like 4 sunflowers.
And then there's like that one that's got like a piece of a sunflower in the corner. Do I pick that one? Oh man.
I'm never gonna fuck around and play around again. Like I fucked around and found out, and I'll never do it again.
Yali's popicles on the way. It's on the way.
I know somewhere Rodney is cracking the fuck up.
Shout out to Rod.
We love Rodney here.
Oh man.
The Star Wars podcast.
Yep,
and
that's
then the
right.
penguins can be momsicles. The penguins can be momsicles. Right? It doesn't stop. We're gonna be rich.
Okay, I gotta reel this one back in. You can also find us on Instagram and Twitter at the letters ANI Are You Okay _pod or actually I think it's just ANI Are You Okay pod. On Instagram and Twitter.
You just added an underscore.
I think I added one by accident.
Whoever has the domain for Annie Are You Okay _pod just came up. You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks. I guess
you're welcome, bud.
But also, you can also find us on YouTube now. So someone's been like randomly just disliking our videos. So maybe go and randomly like some of them to balance it out. You know, perfectly balanced as all things should be. But Matt, tell the Animaniacs what's up and close this bad boy out for us, please.
All right, you Animaniacs, minus the person who's been disliking our videos. This isn't for you. This outro isn't for you. So leave the episode. Well, no, keep the stream going. Mute it or turn the volume all the way down. You can come back in like 10 seconds. But this part ain't for you. But, you know, it's like we always say here on Any Are You Okay Star Wars podcast. It could be Amanda Steinberg. You know, it could be Daphne Keene. You know, it could be Lee Jong-jae. Or you guessed it, it could be Rey. Life can be a beach. But as long as there's no sand, oh boy, Annie gonna be okay.
Be okay. May the Force be with you guys.
And with you. Later, nerds.
Deuces.